Now at some point in this process you're going to have to segregate your brass as to type. One way is obviously just by looking at it and saying, hey, this shell isn't the same as this shell, they're quite a bit different in length. Another way, if you buy this nifty strainer setup, which I bought from Dillon Precision, is to simply pour all your brass in the top bucket and shake the crap out of this stack of them. And I wind up with all my 38s here, all my 308s and larger here, which would include 45s if there were any in this mix, all my 223s down here. Pretty cool, huh? You must separate the 45s and maybe the 40s, I don't know, I don't shoot 40, from everything else. And the reason is they're so exactly a right fit for things like 308. Hopefully I'll get this in the picture. I don't have a helper or a monitor here. That they do this in your tumbler, and they weld in there while they're being vibrated, and neither piece of brass gets fully clean when you do that. It's especially bad to mix 45 with 38, which fits really well, and the little grit in the tumbler gets in there and jams them together and they don't get clean. Same deal with 223. So you got to do that before you clean them. And obviously you have to really make sure you've segregated them right before you run them through dies, because running this 30-06 brass to the 308 die will break both of them or give you a tremendous amount of trouble. Ditto say 38 versus 357. And as far as safety goes, when you get a piece of brass that's really corroded, I will say this so many times you'll get sick of me hearing it, sick of hearing it, but the trash can is your best friend. When you get something that's all green or all black from, you know, it's maybe last year's brass that you didn't get last year off your range, just throw it away. The trash can is your friend. Your life is not worth risking it to save 25, 50 cents on a piece of brass. It just isn't. You don't want to have a piece of brass separate and blow up inside your gun. Sometimes the protection isn't good enough, as you can see from this rather large scar on my face. So don't be too cheap, because you're only going to hurt yourself. Now you don't need to do this, again, if you have a family member or yourself and you're patient enough, and you should be patient enough. This is part of the task. You've got to separate the brass somewhere. Like I say, if I don't have very much to do, like only one tumbler load, I will skip the separating until after I clean it. But if I've got 45s in the mix, you got to pull them out first, so they make everything else not clean well, and you got to do them as a separate batch. So anyway, that's a neat tool. That's also a Dillon Precision item. You could wish they had a few more sizes so they could really do a perfect job, but it's pretty good.